they all fall under laws of physics. Newton's third law, for every action connecting the thing, there's an equal and opposite reaction. You can feel that, okay? That's for motors, for generators, that's under a law of Lenz's law. And that all falls under the law of conservation of energy, okay? So, but what they didn't account for when they wrote these laws, and Newton's third law, again, pure mechanics, okay, like this, that's mechanics. What they didn't account for was this possibility, a load current delay. Delaying the load current in the time domain reverses this, and negates Newton's third law. So what you saw when when the system was accelerating, when it was decelerating, you saw Newton's third law. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. When it was accelerating in regenerative acceleration mode, you saw for every action, there's an equal and complementary reaction. Okay? It's a new law of physics. So, and this is way out of the ballpark for science.
Well, it's in regular English, that's perpetual motion. Is that what you're saying?
No,
Or,
no. All that means, no.
I know what it isn't, but I mean, say that's.
All that means, all that means is this. Okay, if you start with a drive shaft that's operating at rotational equilibrium, 0 mechanical watts, when you place the generator on load, if this number doesn't go up or stays the same, or in fact goes down, which is what you saw, if it goes down, that means the prime mover is not delivering any additional mechanical power, okay? So that's why when you go back and you look at this, and that's why if you go back and you look at it, the first critical thing you say is, does the prime mover, does it increase when the Regenex generator is placed on load? If it doesn't increase, it can't add more mechanical power to the drive shaft. And in fact, when the Regenex generator is placed on load, it goes down. That means that the motor cannot supply additional mechanical power if the motor's consumption goes down. It's impossible. It has to go up. Okay? It's like, can you accelerate your car without touching the gas pedal? No, you can't. So this is what infinite efficiency means. It just means that we don't need an increase. We don't need 24,000 trillion mechanical watts to get this. In fact, we need 0. We still need a certain amount of energy to get it idling, but once it's idling, you're good to go.
So once it's going 30K, right?
Yeah.
It's charging the battery at a slightly faster rate than what it's consuming? I'm sorry if I'm asking dumb questions, but
no, it's not a dumb question.
I'm trying to understand what the potential is, right?
Okay. So you brought up the term perpetual motion. Perpetual motion is a taboo term.
Right.
Okay.
Very
but
intriguing.
what we use, so in reality, we have 3 coils in this prototype, 7.5 amps. If we had 12 coils in it, you're looking at 30 amps to the battery, okay? 30 amps to the battery, while the EV is, while you have inertia in the EV, okay? We don't have any inertia, we're not riding this down the road. But if we had inertia established in the EV at 30 kilometers an hour, that's driving the generator, okay? The generator is sending 30 amps to the battery. the motor is consuming like 0.9 amps, maybe an amp. The electric vehicle is potentially, from our view, it's gonna have unlimited range. Okay? So that equates to perpetual motion, but that term is so toxic that I stay away from it and use infinite range.
Right.
Because, and what also is gonna happen, once it's fully integrated into an electric vehicle, so when it's in an EV, the only penalty that you have, the more power that you send to the battery, okay, in regenerative acceleration mode, and you can send potentially 100 amps per coil. That's 1200 amps if you had the right size coils and magnets. What's going to happen is, in the future, is electric vehicles are going to have unlimited range. They're going to arrive at their destination, like the person's home. They're going to plug into the home and power the home overnight from the stored energy in the batteries. Then they're going to the driver's going to get in their car, they're going to drive it to work, to your factory or whatever. They're going to plug into a microgrid, and they're going to collectively power their workplace from the battery stored energy in the batteries of their EVs. That's the new paradigm that's coming. And so again, this is why Dr. Saab is so excited, because in Lebanon, where the people are lucky if they have 2 hours worth of electricity a day, this is a godsend for them. And you know, we take energy for granted here because we have so much, but India and Africa and other places like that.
Yeah, so you're creating microgrids, right?
Yeah, microgrids. So again, that's an offshoot, okay? So with this, generators, motors, the components, the housing, all of that, and then the circuit, the motor circuit to make the generator run as a motor, and also the V2G, the vehicle to grid recharge products. So again, right now, the current paradigm is an EV owner goes to a recharge thing, plugs in, pays for X amount of energy that he buys from the grid. That's going to be reversed, where the EV owner will plug into the grid when he goes for a coffee or to the bathroom break or whatever, and he'll get paid for the amount of energy he discharges to the grid. So it's a complete reversal of the paradigm that currently exists. Yeah.
If you're making electricity while you're doing this, you would have to be able to store it. And once the battery got full capacity, what would go to the additional electricity you produce?
Once the batteries are fully charged, like in your car with your alternator, once they're fully charged, the generator just gets switched off, and if it's not generating electricity, it's operating as a motor. So initially, if you're making products for EVs, chances are it will be RegenX motors that initially would be retrofitted into EVs, and then eventually it would be a direct replacement. So a lot of EVs now, Teslas, and a lot of EVs have more than one motor, okay? So if they're RegenX motors, one motor can operate as a motor while the other one's operating as a generator. So, and again, when the EV is cruising or when it's decelerating, that's when you can supply the maximum amount of power from the Regenex generator, and there's no penalty, there's no loss in velocity of the EV, and
So if it's set on a cruise mode, it's producing what, like you're not drawing down, right?
sorry, there's somebody at the door. Oh, I think that's you.